Hey everybody, my name is Mike, and sure, you can copy my homework, just make sure you change it up a little bit. Today we're talking about the time that Sega sued EA, or Electronic Arts, over a little game they released called The Simpsons Road Rage. Suing someone over a video game? Instead of road rage, we should call that code rage. You get it? Like coding, like a video game? So why exactly did Sega sue EA? Well, they thought that Road Rage was a little bit too similar to their own game that was released a few years earlier, Crazy Taxi. To my surprise, Sega actually had a patent on Crazy Taxi's gameplay, something that I didn't even think was possible. They thought that EA had copied their patented idea for the game, and as a result, Sega wanted every single copy of Road Rage to be destroyed. Now this got me thinking, how do you patent a type of video game anyway? That's like patenting a smell, it doesn't make any sense. Well, gaming companies patenting their devices or games is nothing new in this industry. For example, BioWare patented the dialogue wheel in the Mass Effect series, and Nintendo has patented their design of the D-pad, which resulted in us getting a bunch of third-party controllers like this. Hey, whoa, don't get any crazy ideas with that. But in this case, Sega ended up filing a patent on some really broad aspects of the gameplay in Crazy Taxi. I don't want to bore you with a bunch of legal nonsense, I'll link the full patent in the description, but basically they patented or copyrighted the use of an arrow above a car that points in the direction of a driver's destination. Alright, so we're ready to play both games to hopefully answer the question, did The Simpsons Road Rage actually copy Crazy Taxi? Oh, would you look at that? I got some fan mail. Alright, let's just ignore that and play the game. The game starts out with Mr. Burns buying all of the public transportation in town and for some reason making them radioactive. Homer and the other citizens of Springfield decide that they are going to start their own transportation service, and Bart decides to break the fourth wall less than a minute into the game.
Just get to the game already!
Let me just explain the core mechanics of the game. Under a time limit, you're driving from location to location, picking people up and dropping them off at a random location in Springfield. When you drop them off, they give you a little bit of money depending on how fast you got them there, and they give you some time back on the countdown clock. The real highlight of this game, though, is the voice acting. Every time you pick up a new character, they are guaranteed to make you laugh.
To the Bart Zone.
Can you take me home? Thieves stole my police car.
You got it.
Just some quick history on Road Rage. This was released on November 19th for the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, and Game Boy Advance, and like I said earlier, this was published by EA. You can play as a ton of different characters in the game, including but not limited to Homer, Marge, Bart, and Lisa. The game's a little short, you can beat the whole thing in a little bit under 5 hours, but you definitely want to go back and replay it because just one playthrough is not enough time to hear all the dialogue options. Overall, the gameplay is fine for a game that came out in 2001 with the occasional weird hit detection off another car or building, but after all was said and done, the game sold over 1.5 million copies, making it the 25th best-selling game out of the Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 generation. Simpsons Road Rage was a perfect game to get as a video game rental over a weekend. I got my own copy recently, but I remember as a kid getting it from my local Blockbuster once or twice. That's kind of all I have to say about The Simpsons Road Rage. If you're a PS2 or Simpsons collector, you should probably try and get your hands on this game. Alright, now let's check out Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi is not just some random game. It's an arcade classic that turned into the second best-selling game in the Sega Dreamcast's entire library. But I still heard about and played Road Rage first as a kid, and I think that was the case for a lot of people, which Sega did not enjoy. But did EA really steal Sega's game here? Let's play some Crazy Taxi and find out. Wait, can I see Road Rage again? This is literally the same game. Alright, I can see why Sega was a little bit mad here. The only big difference between the two is that in Crazy Taxi, you get money for doing stunts while delivering your passengers, as well as delivering them ahead of schedule. Crazy Taxi was originally released in arcades in February of 1999, and then released to console 7 times. The arcade version of Crazy Taxi was developed by Hitmaker, which was a subsidiary of Sega that mainly made other arcade games like Sega Rally Championship and Gunblade New York. The PlayStation 2 version that I have came out in May of 2001 and was published by Acclaim, and actually ended up outselling the Dreamcast version, which had already been released a year and a half earlier. The gameplay is smooth, and getting good at it does take some practice, so there's definitely some replayability here, much like The Simpsons Road Rage. It's really easy to see why this game was such a huge success in arcades and eventually on home consoles. I would love to play this game on an actual arcade machine though, it's probably way better in that environment. So after Road Rage was on shelves for about a year and a half, Sega decided to sue EA for using their copyrighted material. I'll let you know how this ended up going in court, but I first wanted to ask the question. If you were to make a video game right now, what can you and can't you take from other existing video games? New video games wouldn't be possible unless they took ideas and concepts from video games that came before them, but what exactly qualifies as stealing? Should Madden and NCAA football not exist because there were football games like 10-Yard Fight or Football for the NES? What about golf? Or golf? Should any FPS game put a message at the beginning thanking the Doom series for being the first-person shooter? The point is, concepts are taken and expanded on in each video game that comes out. It's like any form of art, it's a compilation of things that influence the artist. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing at all. But I'm gonna be honest here, Road Rage really is too similar to Crazy Taxi in my opinion. It's basically just a reskin with better dialogue. And to continue being honest here, I'd rather play Road Rage over Crazy Taxi 10 times out of 10. I feel like what should have happened in this situation is that these two companies should have decided to collaborate on a game and maybe come out with something like Crazy Taxi, The Simpsons. But hey, I'm just some random dude on the internet, so what do I know? I'm not saying that you shouldn't patent a unique idea or invention that you have, but I think something should at least be able to pass the sniff test as a literal thing rather than just an idea before it gets patented. Big game companies can settle things like this out of court, but if you're a smaller game company, you wouldn't dare try to step on Sega's toes here. Patenting broad aspects of a video game like this will scare away smaller and more adventurous developers from trying to expand on and improve already popular concepts. It really seems like a lose-lose situation to me. Ultimately, this lawsuit between EA and Sega was handled outside of court, so it's impossible to find the exact details, but I think it's a fair guess to say that a ton of money was handed off between these two. And I think it also really opens up a cool conversation on what constitutes a stolen video game.
Yeah, thanks for letting me borrow your homework, bro.
You just copied my homework and wrote The Simpsons over it? What the hell, man?